Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. We got a little news we're going to talk about today. Just a couple stories, and we're going to look at what's been going on in this industry for the last couple years. And things are pretty bad, and I don't think they're going to get any better anytime soon. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right into it. So, From Software boss addresses gaming industry layoffs. Quote, as long as this company is my responsibility, I would not let that happen. Hidetaka Miyazaki describes From Software's relationship with parent company Kadokawa and references Satoru Iwata's perspective on layoffs. Between Embracer laying off thousands of employees and Microsoft shuttering studios like Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks, the recent wave of high-profile, multi-billion-dollar acquisitions have proven to be terrible for the games industry. I said that from the start. It's time to look at any game studio that's been gobbled up by a new parent company and not be worried that it may soon be gutted just to promise shareholders 11% higher profits for the next fiscal year. This vile trend was on my mind when I visited From Software in May for PC Gamer's cover story on Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, which I think is coming out, any minute now, just about. Despite seemingly quite independent, the studio does have a parent company, Kadokawa Corporation. Kadokawa isn't Microsoft big, but it is still big, with a revenue of about $1.65 billion in its last fiscal year. From Software is one of Kadokawa's major earners, but the company also makes significant money in the manga publishing and anime markets. Delicious in Dungeon is one of its recent hits. With games like Elden Ring selling more than 25 million copies, and there's going to be a lot more selling real soon here, you'd think From Software would be free of any meddling. Why mess with the golden goose? But that logic hasn't saved other game studios from short-sighted, across-the-board layoffs at mega publishers like EA, 2K, Sony, and the list goes on. So I asked From Software President Hidetaka Miyazaki, and if I'm butchering these names, my apologies, what he could say about From Software's business relationship with its parent company and whether From was at risk from the same fate that's befallen studios under the Embracer umbrella in the last year. Speaking to myself and his company, I want to say that this is not something I would wish on the staff at From Software in a million years, Miyazaki said. I'm pretty sure our parent company, Kadokawa, understands that and shares the view. So far, From Software hasn't been immune from layoff waves that have struck Western gaming companies. They haven't just been immune to them, but it's been expanding. The studio has grown significantly since it started Elden Ring, and is now big enough to develop at least 2 games simultaneous, as shown by last year's Armored Core 6. It's also not the only Japanese company in that position. This year, Capcom made a point of raising employee pay rather than conducting layoffs, though Japanese wages are notoriously low, which may be one factor insulating them from layoffs. During one of the brutal waves of layoffs this year, fans pointed to 2 times former Nintendo president Satoru Iwata took a pay cut instead of laying off workers, a move no current game CEO seemed eager to replicate. But when we spoke, Miyazaki himself also cited Iwata's reasoning in 2013 for not laying off employees, even when the company was operating at a loss. I think it was the old ex-president of Nintendo, Iwata-san, who said that people who are afraid of losing their jobs are afraid of making good things. I'm paraphrasing that, but I totally share this view, Miyazaki said. I think it's true, and I think people at Kadokawa, our parent company, understand that I hold this view very strongly. While we can't say 100%, we can't say with complete certainty what the future is going to hold for From at Kadokawa. At least as long as this company is my responsibility, that's something I would not let happen. So hopefully our players and our fans can take a little bit of assurance from that. It's a strong statement, particularly next to the usual CEO lines about hard decisions and rationalizing pipelines. I'll link this in below so you can read it at your own leisure if you feel like you'd like to. But what a great thing to hear. There's been so much negative news lately, and unfortunately, we're not going to leave this video without some negativity. But this is something I wanted to start off. I wanted to start off with something positive. This is a man to be admired, and hopefully more CEOs will take this viewpoint and try to save their companies rather than just be like, oh, well, guess we're gonna have to lay off 100 guys here so I can, buy another boat this year or another house or whatever. That's a man of honor. You don't see a lot of that anymore. There's a lot of dishonor in the video game industry. Embracer Group has closed Alone in the Dark studio Pieces Interactive. Now, they talked about Embracer in the last article there. Embracer's had a rough year. The closure comes less than a month after Embracer said sales of Alone in the Dark Reboot were softer than expected. Now, this is a game I was kind of looking forward to, and then as it got closer to release, I kind of lost interest in it for a couple reasons. Now, I love the fact that they got some great actors in it and all that, but I'm wondering, is this, is hiring a guy like David Harbour, I don't know how much he made doing this, but, Hollywood actors get paid very good money, and although he's not like a super duper headliner, he's a popular actor, and I like him very much. I loved him in Violent Night. He was great in the Black Widow movie, of course, Stranger Things and all that. What kind of paycheck does he command? And is that the sort of thing that's hurting a lot of these studios, is paying these big actors big money to be in their games, and then if that game doesn't hit, ouch. You've paid those guys a lot of money, and now you're out of game. I don't know. But Pieces Interactive, the developer of Alone in the Dark Reboot that launched earlier this year, has been shut down by the parent company, Embracer Group. Word of the closure came via Pieces Interactive Twitter feed, which posted an image containing the studio's logo and the message, Pieces Interactive 2007 to 2024. Thanks for playing with us. The studio's website now carries the same image as well as a longer message detailing the studio's history since its founding in 2007. In 2017, Pieces Interactive were acquired by Embracer Group after working with the expansion for Titan Quest Ragnarok. Everybody's had a Ragnarok lately. And third expansion for Titan Quest Atlantis. The message says, our last release was the reimagining of Alone in the Dark. Pieces Interactive's Alone in the Dark reboot was good stuff. We called it an intelligent reimagining of the 1992 classic in our 76% review that, despite its bugs and some occasional over-reliance on combat, delivered the best Alone in the Dark game since 1992. Despite that, the game apparently didn't sell very well. In Embracer's 2023-2024 full-year financial report, the company said sales of Alone in the Dark were softer than expected and performed below management expectations. Embracer's THQ Nordic division confirmed with PC Gamer that Pieces Interactive has been closed, but declined to comment further. The closure comes just 3 days after Galvanic Games announced its own shutdown due to inadequate sales through its most recent release, Wizard with a Gun. June has also seen layoffs and closures at Behavior Interactive, Sumo Group, and Avalanche. And we've seen a ton of closures in this last 2 years. It's absolutely horrifying. Here we are summing up 2023 to 2024 right now. And, starting out last year, 700, 300, 1,300, 400, 12, all throughout the year, just layoff after layoff. Not a single month went by where at least 100 people weren't laid off. And then 2024 starts off with 6,000 people gone. Another 2,000. That's 8,000 in the first 2 months alone of 2024. That's probably almost all the amount from 2023. And you got another 500, 1,000, 700, 400. Again, so far, barely under 500 this year in 2024. It's been an absolute shit show, and it's terrible. And I'm afraid we're going to continue to see this for a while. I think gaming has plateaued and become too top-heavy. I think these companies have bloated themselves with unnecessary positions and people working for them that they can get rid of. I think they're spending money foolishly because there was a great time there in 2020, just 4 years ago during the pandemic, where I think that's where gaming kind of peaked. And everybody decided to blow it up because, hey, we're making a ton of money. Everybody's locked at home. They're playing video games. They got nothing else to do. They got, they got $1,400 checks. They're buying PlayStations and TVs, and they're having a good time, getting fat and having fun. Well, those days are over, and I think things are going to have to change. I think we're going to see a lot of changes here. We're going to see a lot of these unnecessary positions at these companies disappear, and hopefully we'll get back to better gaming. There's a lot going on right now in gaming that can attribute itself to some of the failures out there. I think DEI is a big part of it. I know we talk about it a lot, and a lot of people are sick about hearing about it, but you're going to hear about it every day until it's dealt with and it's eradicated from gaming. It's destroyed Hollywood, it's destroyed television, it's destroying gaming on a daily basis, and until it's gone, we're not going to have good games anymore. We're going to have pieces of crap released on a daily basis, and failure after failure after failure. A lot of people push back and are like, well, this isn't something that really is a problem. This isn't an issue. It's not real. It's not, they'll gaslight you. They'll try to divert the conversation and all that. But it is real. I mean, I can sit there and cite you game after game after game and they all follow the same format. They've got the, it's ridiculous. You can do it with movies. Look at what's going on with Star Wars and the Alkalite right now. It's in the absolute shitter. And Star Wars has been abused ever since Disney got them. They've pretty much crapped all over that brand and made it worse and worse and worse with every new release. I think the one thing I really enjoyed from them was Rogue One. Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of Rogue One. But the rest of everything that's come since Disney acquired it has been a shit show and not very fun. The Mandalorian, the first 2 seasons were okay, but as soon as Book of Boba Fett came out, they destroyed Boba Fett and made that shit. And I don't want to see this same trend go into gaming, and we're already seeing it, right? We're seeing it happen. We're seeing it with the upcoming Silent Hill and the transification of Angela and that, and it looks terrible. We saw it with Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, and just how stupid and silly that looked. Forspoken is supposed to be this great open world game and all that, with this insufferable twat as a main character that just chattered like she was in a Marvel movie with her wristband. It was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I saw some asshole on Twitter bragging that, guys in my age group are like, well, you guys are just mad because you aged out of the major demographic in gaming, and now we're not only playing games, we're making games too. Well, you're making shit and it's not selling. It wouldn't be something to be proud of, you jack off. Why don't you get the fuck out of the industry and take all your fucking retarded friends with you and let real people get back into gaming and start making games again so they're actually halfway decent. Get rid of all the bullshit messages that people want to put in there. Get rid of the DEI. Get rid of all the, equity and all that shit. And make a good game. Make a good game from the bottle up. It's not rocket science, you morons. It's been happening for over 40 years now. And it's only recently that this cancer has infected the gaming industry and begun to destroy it. And I won't stand by and shut my mouth and watch it happen. I'll fight it. I don't care what you say. I don't care the kind of pushback I get. I don't care the hate I get. I will fight back because this is something I believe in and something I care about. And if you care about gaming too in the future of it, please leave a like on the video down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.